banger. But like I was thinking T1 needs something with like a lot of magic nuke now to deal with those 2 picks from Boom. Batrider, Lesh, both these heroes in my mind fit that, especially Batrider. Seems like a really good Batrider game.
Have we seen Batrider in SEA DPC 2-1 at all?
I want to say
We
yes.
saw some, definitely. I feel like I saw Yopaj playing mid even.
Okay. It definitely isn't
has.
something that's picked crazy often, so I'm excited to see this out. Like, it's the upper bracket here, right? So whichever team does end up losing in this last game is going to have a second chance. They're only going to go to lower brackets. So I do quite like that it's something different coming out, a lot of different heroes that we don't normally get to see and have their little niche strengths here and there, I'd say.
Yeah, both teams have picked Batrider in DPC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah. I mean, this looks like a sick Batrider game, man. Oh, I think Underlord is a hero who is not very strong right now. When we were covering Europe East, DM had some words about Underlord. He was talking about it on Twitter as well. He was just saying he thinks the hero is very weak right now. His combo spell, if you get Atos and the Q and the roots and the pit, all this basically does like no damage. He's very low damage compared to other heroes. I think it is nice in lane against Wraith King, especially if he gets Helm of Iron Will. He can just kind of sit there and chill. And his pit is good at controlling Wraith King and controlling like Mirana who can't leap and so on. So I like the idea. I just don't think the hero's that great or strong.
I feel that. Do you think there's ever a potential shape of Underlord being played in a different position? Obviously not in this draft, but just in general.
Yeah, I could see him as a really strong jungler come next patch. If he just gets like a few more buffs, he's gonna be like S tier jungler.
Yep. Bring Iron Talon back into the game. I like it.
That's what we're looking for then. Let's get it going.
The competitive jungle Olympics, Underlord. Chef's kiss.
Last ban coming out T1 eventually. Seeing Boom Esports lineup gods, what are they missing that T1 could try and, I guess, ban here? And what are they potentially looking to pick up to round it out?
I get there's some flexibility with T1. I say that because we have had Cuckoo play offlane Wraith King before. Boom, recognizing this, actually banned Ursa because Ursa kind of owns Underlord. With that said, probably it's just a safe lane Wraith King. I think they're gonna. They're super flexible. Wraith King can go safe lane, off lane. Batrider can go off lane, mid. They're probably gonna react to Boom. Oh, you think that morph into that?
Do you think Morph would be good? They have basically no way to kill him.
Morph looks pretty sick. Morph, if you want to lane him safe lane against Underlord, that sounds like a great lane for Morph to free farm in. I'm very down for a Morph lane.
Yeah, same. I'm down for an offlane Wraith King. I feel like Wraith King sucks this game. I do like Underlord and Wyvern for one thing is that it makes Wraith King's game impossible.
He's getting kited to hell this game, and anytime he feels like he can go in and do some damage, there's like a Winter's Curse or a Cold Embrace on his target. But I think a lot of T1's last pick is going to be reactionary. So now they know what's coming their way.
Morph, it's a free rage. No, like, am I wrong?
Okay.
This seems
absolutely
popping.
What do you think's going through their head then if they're not immediately picking up this Morph sheep?
Or, I mean, they could also pick like a Razor.
Razor,
walk
yeah.
the dog.
Even offlane Razor wouldn't be too bad here if they want to go get an offlaner, but doesn't lane that well with the Mirana. If anything, that's why the Wraith King offlane also works, is that you've got a hero to set up the Mirana arrow in lane, which feels pretty nice.
Yeah, I'd be down for either of those.
Okay. There we go. Razor it is.
Love it.
You threw out two options. They did end up picking up that Razor instead and going on Gabby. So we see it all laid out here for the last game in this series. And I am going to ask the tried and true question. In which lineup do you like best? Starting with you, Sheep.
Whatever one wins, I would say. I would like that one more.
Wow. So analytical. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And God,
T1s.
You like
I
T1?
like I like both drafts. I'm just cheering for a close, good game of Dota, you know?
Wow, that's so good of you to say.
Wow, I'm disappointed, but also so proud of both of you guys for sitting
For
right
giving
there
shit answers.
in the middle. I have so much to work with. Honestly, these two couldn't ask for two better people, especially with
you,
that
Nat?
question. Look, I'm gonna pretend that I know anything about Dota on any sort of level compared to you guys. So I'm just gonna say T1. Yep. I just really like the Batrider pick. I'm not going to lie, mainly because it's something I personally haven't seen in DPC yet. But no one really cares too much what I have to say. So I'm going to run off and I'm going to let you guys jump into this game number 3 winner heading to the grand finals. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you, Nat. I bet there's people out there who care what Nat have to say and wish Nat was solo casting this game instead of us, Sheepo.
That's me. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, me too. I could be at home on my couch, just like chilling, watching some good Dota. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great.
I can go get some lunch.
I like how like between the three of us, we're all kinds of like crazy different time zones, but it's SCA Dota. We'll wake up whenever, you know. You're waking up early in the morning. I'm staying up late. T1 versus Boom. It's delivered so far.
Hell yeah. Because it's hard for me to say whose draft I think is better because I really think that Boom did a good job of like shutting down the Wraithing pick, but now T1 have just completely flexed it, and it's something they've done in the past, and I think should have been expected. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get a fight. Oh, let's go.
5v5 smoking. Lion leads the way. There's that rain of fire tickling
Cuckoo,
T1,
no.
but Cuckoo, yeah, goes down to Yopaj of all heroes. The Kunkka gets the kill.
No. That is like, dude, I feel like mid players get so tilted when you feed first blood to the enemy mid. It's like, dude, now he has a bottle at like 1 minute. What are you doing?
In this case, it's a magic wand, so he can get more than the 10 stick charges against the Batrider early on.
Wow. Yeah, I think that is a little bit of a rough matchup. I think people really like Storm into Bat, actually, that I've seen. I remember watching a couple of teams pick that.
They're not done with the brawling. They look to juke it out once again. This Razor needs to be a little bit careful. Tim's doing some good work with that level 1 Arctic Burn, but both teams will settle down.
I haven't watched enough games of Batrider to know a lot about the matchups, but I know that Kunkka is a melee hero, and that's always miserable.
Yep.
Absolutely sad as hell.
I feel like we saw this Kunkka bat at least once, and the Kunkka actually did all right in the DPC League. At least
Did
in
the
the
Kunkka
lane.
kill the bat?
Yeah, I feel like I have a memory. I feel like it was even Yopaj Kunkka maybe against the Batrider. I think it was like Execration or TNC who picked bat mid, and it didn't go so well.
I feel like I also saw that, so I'm just gonna say it's true, and that Yopaj
Okay.
is the GOAT, and he's gonna win this lane.
This is
Not biased.
This is Carl in the mid lane. I feel like that was like you say, one of the lower Division 1 teams, but very curious to
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, they both play Batrider at least, and they both play as heroes, so they're probably pretty intimately familiar with this matchup, so they should probably both be fine. On these side lanes, though, another life stealer. Yesterday we watched Gabby. Was it Gabby's unkillable life stealer?
It was, yeah.
Yep. Now we're gonna see Jackie's not unkillable life stealer. This is a pretty hard game, I would say, into Razor at least. You also have obviously Lasso can pierce your rage, which means that you are actually a threat. You can't go wherever you want on the map.
Top lane, they're going on Tim's. Lassoing him, linking him down. He gets very low. Gabby needs the last right click. He will die for it, though. FBZ gets the kill and the solo XP onto Gabby's Razor.
I'm not too sure if that was worth it, but you know, at least he's coming back to health with full mana and health. Wow.
Yeah.
Like just a little refresher to the grave.
So, yeah, you're kind
Yes.
of talking about the lifestealer. And this is, I mean, you mentioned,
Yes.
yeah, this is not going to be quite as good a lifestealer game as the other one you think then.
No, not at all. It's like, it's way harder. It's also like, the way that T1 will likely want to play this game, and how we've seen in the past, is that Lion is basically your setup hero. He wants to find heroes on the map and, you know, catch them with Hex, followed up by Earth Spike, and Batrider, a hero that buys Boost of Travel as his first item, is basically able to always link up with that Lion. So if Lion finds anyone on a side lane, Bat will be there. So Lifestealer basically can't really split push lanes if Lion is ever like not showing on the map. I mean, he can if, you know, he can, but he could die. And that is a good level of threat to have on T1's side against a Lifestealer.
Okay. We'll see. Perhaps he can make up for that by just having a great laning stage, because right now this laning stage for Boom is looking really nice. All 3 lanes, they've got a CS advantage, particularly the mid lane. Kunkka almost doubling Karl's CS so far. Does need to be careful. The one thing with Bat is you can be losing your lane, but that kill threat is always going to be there. But for now, Yopaj absolutely dominating.
That's good. He had 7 stacks on him there. I was a little bit scared. But Karl doesn't have a point in Flame Break, so he has no real way to get on top of Yopaj.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if any kind of kills break out there.
I think why I was so keen for a morph pick this game for Gabby was that Gabby is super good at morphling, really, really good. But more so, it was the fact that morphling does a lot of magic damage that I felt was kind of necessary. Like in the same way they picked Bat to deal with like Wyvern Underlord heroes, I thought they would kind of want a little bit of at least pseudo damage on their core, their carry to make up for the fact that like Wraith King is not really going to do much damage this game. And yeah, Gabby going on to now top.
Yeah, DPC seems okay. He'll tank his way through it.
Fine. But yeah, like I feel like Razor is also a lot of he does pseudo. He does do pseudo damage. Like his Eye of the actually no, Eye of the Storm's physical damage. He does so much physical damage, and they have Wyvern and stuff. You know, it's like a little bit worrying.
Yeah, they're very reliant on Karl this game when it comes to dealing with the Wyvern, as far as not just having physical damage goes. Mid lane Yopaj gets low here. He's got 21 charges. He's probably going to have to chew his way through them, but Karl still has a second left on this Firefly, and he will get the kill. This is a lot of the Bat mid matchups. You can lose the lane in terms of CS, but you have that kill threat, and he finds the opening to kill Yopaj.
Yeah, that's pretty scary for Yopaj as well, because he's now like pretty much nearly a full level below Karl. Now Karl has the lasso, that's extra level of kill threat. I don't know. It seems hard for Yopaj to stay in lane now.
We'll see him come back and try hit that level 6. For now, at least, Karl has to kind of heal up a little bit, but he's going to be back in that lane in no time at all. Over at top, they've found Tim's perhaps. Another Earth Spike will set up T1 to get themselves another kill in this top lane.
Yeah. Jackie's pretty happy. He's top of the net worth. His the creep wave is like in front of his tower. He's farming pretty.
Mid lane.
FBZ's like also.
Yopaj, another solo kill.
Oh no. Oh no. I didn't even notice. He's up so far. How is he on the other side of the river?
Well, you know, we're trying to crown the king of SEA, but right now this game we're, you know, potential king of mid lane. Karl is saying, you know, I'm going to contest that Yopaj is the GOAT statement with some of his own mid play. Although this game far from over still, as T1 rotating their supports as well to come over and fight for these runes. Karl gets himself another kill. He's already got a killing spree. He's only got 20 CS, but he is absolutely crushing it when it comes to getting these kills.
Yeah, Karl's an amazing mid player. And it's really, really scary for Boom when he does get Boost of Travel. All these kills are like leading up towards getting it. He's at 700 gold, and it's only 6 minutes. At that point, when he has them, you have to be so scared on every side lane. It's no longer like, oh, maybe he gets a power rune and ganks. It's like he can just always be here.
Oh. Yopaj doesn't even feel like he can walk up to the wave anymore. He's gone back into the jungle, so his lane, despite the strong start where he had like 20 CS to the Batrider's 10 CS, has kind of fallen apart now. We'll see if they can make up for it somewhere else, but it does feel like that's going to be a tough ask for Boom. Send Tims to the mid lane. Meanwhile, top lane, FBZ's being ran at by Gabby, but he's just going to ulti his way out of there. Barely gets out in the end. That was close.
The lane has been surprisingly good for FBZ. I think the lane has pretty much entirely always been in front of T1's tower. But despite that, every time Gabby like tried to go on him or around him, they were able to kind of successfully fend him off between the like Arctic burn and the firestorm damage. Like Gabby was always kind of at risk. So I like farm wise, he's actually not doing too badly at all. Usually you feel like a lot worse as an offlaner when your lane is up so far because you can die.
Well, unfortunately for Cuckoo, his offlane not going so well. He is going to find the Bane in the river though, and he's looking to maybe make up for his poor lane with some kills for himself. Zephyr needs to chase with the leap. 1 or 2 more right clicks should finish him off, but he gets the uphill miss, and Skem is already salving, so no kill for them. What do you feel like this Wraith King's place in this game is going to be? He's off to a slow start. Is he going to just be like a third core, or is he going to be looking to be more of a playmaker?
I'm not sure. I really feel like the last time they played this, it was a last pick Wraith King, and he had like an actual place in the draft. Also, Carl is looking for blood right now, and I'm terrified for FBZ's life. There's no ult to get him out.
He's done so, surely. Plasma Field goes scouting. He gets a little higher up, but Carl has the lasso. Yeah, no way out for FBZ. Burn, baby, burn.
He didn't high five him. Dude, the least you can do when you're dying is high five your enemy. Just common respect and manners.
These teams are stressing, you know.
Yeah. But yeah. So last time they picked Wraith King, it was last pick. It had a place. It was gonna have a good lane. It was like decent. And this game, it's definitely just so like, okay, we picked Wraith King early. It's been absolutely countered. We have to flex it. And because of that, he just doesn't really have a place. He's just gonna have to try and do the best he can with what he has.
Hit up the jungle, do some farming. It's going to be maybe similar to the Beastmaster where he starts behind but could catch up. And the good news is, unlike that Beastmaster game, his other lanes and his teammates are doing incredibly well. Carl rotates in, finds some more kills. Razor doing well up top, and Carl's about to finish his... Well, he's got his Boots of Travel, and he's about to finish off an Ancient stack here.
Yeah, like to put it bluntly, Cuckoo is eating shit this game for his other team mates to do well, and sometimes that's just like how it is as an offlaner. That's the point of having these heroes you can flex. It's like, yeah, okay, my game's gonna suck, but like your game's gonna be awesome if you get a better counter pick because they like went in so hard on my hero. And what I like at least is Wraith King. He can do a bit more than a Beastmaster. You know, if you go into a team fight and just die instantly, look at that AoE slow. Wow, look at this impact. And he has a stun, and it's on a low cooldown. It's not like a roar and you're done. Yeah, he could provide maybe a few things this game. I'm not really sure what his items are gonna be though.
Definitely. It sounds like the goal is to be as light as possible while you hop in your team's backpack and they carry you. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just don't feed too hard. Top lane, they're not done with FBZ. They make another move to come and kill him. The response from Boom was sort of coming with the TPM from Skem, but it was too late. As well as too little. The Nightmare, though, onto Whitemon's Lion. As well as the X back here. They want to try and bring him down, and it looks like they will leave the Lion to the Wolves here. But Gabby himself is being gripped up by the Bane. Skem doesn't have any follow-up damage, and with the Batrider showing up as well, they've got a lasso, but they don't even need it for the Bane kill, it looks like. Carl actually struggling to finish him off. Will need another Flame Break or at least a bit more damage. Has the Firefly instead. He goes jumping forward with the Tumbler's Toy. Gets Skem as well as Tims. They are just eating Boom Esports alive here in the top lane. Missing the Pit of Malice onto the Batrider as well. Carl sets up another kill onto Yopaj. Perfectly played with the Murano in the trees who's going to TP out. T1 crushing it here so far in the early game.
This is like last game all over again. Look at the kill score. Ugh.
Oh no. Cuckoo's loving it. He's got space.
I'm pushing the tower.
I'm contributing. Yeah.
Yay. Does he have anything coming on Curry, or is he actually just rushing Blink? Yeah, he is. I was wondering if he would go Omelette, but it turns out not. I think last time he played, right, he was basically a carry. I think Carl really sacrificed his game to give Cuckoo a better offlane Wraith King game. And he like power farmed and got like these kind of core items and became like another carry. This game is the complete opposite. Carl is really the star of the show. Cuckoo just gonna go for Blink Dagger and try and be that initiator.
Yep.
So, great switch up of playstyle there. He's honestly, I mean, he took the bot tower. Like, he's doing things on the map. He's putting pressure on. You can't really ask for more from your very countered Wraith King.
Yeah, with how well his team's doing in the top lane, he's taking advantage of the space, not just to, you know, be some passive farmer, but take over and control the map down bottom. So feels like Boom Esports need to make something happen, but they haven't got the best heroes to do that with. Underlord not known for his playmaking potential, and right now it really comes down to Yopaj as the big playmaker on Kunkka, but that's a big ask for him considering that his lane went a little bit poorly. He's not having that fantastic start that we're so used to seeing him have.
Yes, I think Bane is very important with grip. That's kind of like a lot of how they get kills. It's just come off cooldown again, so they're feeling pretty good. They brought a lot of bodies top. That'll give them the tower, which is nice. But yeah, you had to commit a lot. The net worth lead is luckily not too huge right now.
Setting up on Cuckoo down bottom, but oh, he's gonna juke his way out of there. The Bane even TP'd down bottom as well, so looked like 3 Boom heroes were trying to kill Cuckoo. He tipped Scam. He's like, I believe I just outplayed you. The Moonlight Shadow Escape was there. It didn't have any detection.
They're running instantly top with T1, which is the smart response. You just saw that 3 heroes reacted to bot lane, so you try and take advantage of that. But I think they're going to back off when they realize that, you know, Boom on bad. They've also run out top.
He vaults in, but instantly gets cursed up. Nice response from Tim's Wyvern to help Yopaj out. Ghost Ship going to come flying through, but Carl manages to get away from that one. Throws out a Flame Break with a Finger of Death onto FBZ, but he tanks his way through it. And with the Fiend's Grip coming out onto Zephyr's Mirana, the damage may be too much for him, but Mirana goes leaping forward. Once the FBZ kill and we'll get it. Plus the Yopaj death. They're absolutely destroying them. Gabby finishes off Tim's as well, and that's 3 dead on the Boom Esports side. About to be 4 with Skem. Chase down as well. Only Jackie's lifestealer left standing. What a disaster for Boom Esports here.
I can't help but feel like they just forgot about Batrider when they drafted. I just can't. I can't think in my mind that they would pick these heroes and think, yeah, we can deal with a Batrider if they pick it. I don't know. Maybe it's just that they had an idea and it turned out to not work the way that they planned. Like, obviously that happens often with drafts, especially when you kind of do uncommon strategies like this, like dual pick of Underlord Wyvern. But it just feels so hard for them to deal with it, because I see an idea in their draft. They're like, okay, well, we're going to pick some sturdy heroes that are hard to kill, like Kunkka with run buff, hard to kill, Underlord, a lot of health, hard to kill. We're going to hold our towers, like Lifestealer's got his rage. We're just going to like make it really difficult for the enemy team to play. But like this whole strat is kind of destroyed by the fact that Batrider has got such a free game.
Yep. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people asking, like, wondering, and also second guessing, like, this Underlord Wyvern, like, pick in the second phase just hasn't really felt all that impactful, and also just kind of came out of nowhere. These are not heroes that Boom typically plays. Like, Tim's played a little bit of Wyvern in the past, but it's not a signature pick. FBZ is not a big Underlord player. These picks came out of nowhere.
Yeah, this seems like something they might have scrimmed with maybe, but they definitely did not play it in the DPC.
Smoke to the mid, and they found FBZ once again. This poor Underlord just trying to get some farm. And there's nothing they can do to respond to that. It's just easy pickings. Wherever T1 go, it just feels like they can take whatever kills they can find, and there's no punish at all.
Yep. And honestly, I really love T1's Mirana. They play with it so lovely. If they don't get Bane, they get Shadow Demon. If they don't get Shadow Demon, they get Lion. Either way, there's something with a setup, and they are just finding kills on the map with these 2 supports.
Collapsing on mid, T1 want to finish off this T1 mid. Gabby's got a BKB. Blinking in is Carl's Batrider. Once again gets caught by the Winter's Curse, but the damage may not be there to finish him off. Does get brought low and does end up going down. Ghost Ship comes flying through as well. This is the fight that Boom have perhaps been looking for. They'd love to get more, and they will do so. Cuckoo ends up dying. Doesn't skill the reincarnation, perhaps knowing he was going to die a second time. Okay. So a great hold for Boom.
Yeah, actually, that kind of showed some concepts. Maybe, like, when I'm saying, oh yeah, like, it felt like they didn't think about the Batrider. Actually, there they showed maybe they did. Maybe Wyvern was meant to be, like, the answer. Yeah, sure, Batrider kind of messes over a hero that you cold embrace with all of his magic burst, but actually, if he ever jumps in, you do have Winter's Curse, a BKB piercing spell that allows Batrider to not be able to just drag your teammate back into his team.
Yeah, definitely a fight where you can see a little bit of the vulnerabilities of this Bat Rider. He can't just go in willy-nilly. If they're not ready for him, yeah, you're going to get all these kills. But he just went right into a bear trap there and got his foot sliced off, so...
Oh god, how gory.
Look, this is Dota itself is a gory game, okay, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Oof. Also, Yopaj's BKB reveal, I believe that was, so...
Yeah.
I was also timing for them.
Yeah, that was nice. Bottom lane, arrow follow-up off of the lion, but Cold Embrace is there for Scam. That'll just buy him a little bit of time.
Can I just say, I had no idea Eye of the Storm was physical damage. I always thought it was magical. I don't know why.
Do you love me?
Interesting.
Seeing it do
I don't know
no
what to say to
damage
that.
to the Cold Embrace is
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny how there's some just stuff that you just think is like common sense in Dota, but then there's also so much stuff like for me it's like, duh, I've always known that, but there's so much other stuff I'm like, I had no idea that's how that worked. And other people be like, you're an idiot. Like,
I mean, lightning should be magical. Like it's
True.
like why would it be physical? It makes no sense. You know, I've talked a lot about the things that I just didn't know about today, like the poison stacks as well. I'm a great analytical caster, very big brain.
I feel like people could write like a thesis on like Dota mechanics and stuff like that, and you'd still like get stuff wrong or not even cover like half of the game.
True.
This game's crazy. I mean, literally pro players are like hopping into the test client like every other day to be like, oh, I don't know how this mechanic works. Let's try it out in the test client.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many interactions. I mean, I feel like the base workings of a spell I should probably know, but you know, it's fine.
FBZ. Pull it out once more. Seen this one before.
Very
I was trying
nice.
to think the one I never knew for a long time was the SF Ultimate when it used to have the damage reduction. Like I was like, oh, I didn't realize it used to do that. Like for the longest time. I thought it just did damage. It doesn't anymore. It used to.
Okay.
Once upon a time.
All right, good. Whew.
Now it slows.
Did you know if you Yules on top of someone, they can get trapped underneath you?
Trapped? What do you mean by trapped?
Like you can get there's like a when they changed Yules so that you can't do it like directly on top of someone anymore. They put like a hitbox or something or a box of some kind underneath the Yules, and heroes can get like trapped in it so they can't walk. So
That
if you
sounds-
Yules yourself, some people can get like trapped underneath you basically.
Ah. Okay.
It's weird. I don't really know how
Can you
that
blink?
happens.
Can you blink on them and use yourself, or that won't work? I guess because they have to be right under you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can make it happen or if they have to be like phased under you or something. Like you can trap your ally underneath you, you know?
Sounds like a great way to grief people. Perfect for playing Dota.
Anyway, fun facts. Way. So, looking at the game, like vision-wise, I think Booms is actually a little bit more aggressive than T1's right now. Actually, no, T1 have a really nice deep boil down in the triangle somewhere, but I don't think they've been playing on it for a long time, so it's kind of like served its purpose, I guess. Yeah, Booms is actually pretty defensive. It kind of like there was kind of just span a long line from the top of the river down to their bottom jungle. They're just trying to do the best they can to get farms so they can hopefully take a fight. I'm actually not sure what their timing is this game. Lifesteal is going for Scotty right now. Yopaj finishes BKB, which they got a nice fight off the back of. But now he's just going for like Sanj and Yasher and like Silver Edge.
No.
Which
And
I'm
you're
not
a little
sure
bit
does a
concerned
lot.
about Lifestealer just in general. Like, even if he gets the farm, it's not necessarily going to be a free Lifestealer game. So
Yeah. Like, Razor is such a beast this game, and he's going for Refresher now. Like, when he is he going Lincolns? Is that what's on his career?
I think that's
This is like a scary lifestealer. Between the BKB and the Lincolns, I think it's very hard for Boom to stop him. Like, you wanted to use your Wyvern and her ult to kind of control these heroes, but now you can't even do that.
charging in forward. They smoke up and they look to initiate here. They catch Yopaj, who's going to BKB himself. Carl finds the lasso on the Wyvern. That's the Winter's Curse taken out of the picture. And they want more. Skem's Bane going for a helpless grip onto the Razor, knowing that he's just trying to help his teammates get out of there. They may go for more here. Carl, has he bitten off more than he can chew? He goes right into the Bear's den as he gets blown up by a Ghost Ship combo. Razor just going to BKB and look to fight his way out of this one, but already half health. Gabby has to just BKB TP out. He gets out just in time. And Chase is on. FBZ, the Infest into the Underlord. I love it. That's the, he's like, FBZ, where's your Blink Dagger, bro? You're an offlaner, right?
Yeah, what's my Blink Stun?
Thought about rifting bottom. Thinks better of it. They're looking for Gabby here. I think they know where he TP'd. They're actually going to hunt for him and skim. Are they going to be able to cut him off? He's hiding in the trees. I think Gabby realizes he's made a bit of a mistake and he's got to tuck himself in and just hope for the best.
Gabby's game sense. I don't know how he does it. They were smoked. And he just, like,
Smart
you
man.
would think you would feel safe behind your tier 1 tower, but no, he actually just has that extra layer of precaution hiding in the this dude has hacks on, actually. I don't know what else it is. Like, in his Faceless Void game, this game, like, Gabby is on another level.
Well, Gabby, I mean, he's once again instantly making a name for himself, despite, there was some doubts, like, the whole talent experience where, they finished, 5th place in Division 2 with some pretty star-studded players. It definitely brought a lot of doubts to people about everyone and their, their individual prowess on that team. But Gabby, I think, reminding people like, hey, I'm still a tier 1 carry player. I'm still one of the best.
He sure is. He's just proving it game after game.
With that said, and not across the finish line just yet. T1, they've got a 5k gold lead. They're, solidly ahead when it comes to kind of kills and just control this game. But Boom Esports are slowly kind of trying to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, they're kind of putting a lot on Gabby's shoulders this game. Like, I was been talking and praising up how much of a free Batrider game it is, and obviously Carl is playing out of his mind to make that happen, but he's not gone for this sort of greedy Batrider build we've seen other players go for, where they kind of go for like Octarines and Lincoln Spheres. He went for Blink and Force stuff. He was just like, I'm just gonna like pull people back into my Razor, right? So Gabby is a lot of like the main core here for now.
Yeah. Definitely a little surprising that, Carl doesn't have a beat. Even queued up, he's got the Sanjin Kaya, so thinking he can play without the BKB this game. Maybe just because, it's not going to help against the Wyvern. Like, he's blinking in and getting cursed, so he wants, status resistance set, I guess?
Yeah. Why get Lincolns when I can just be cursed for less time?
Yeah. Like,
So smart.
Get Lincolns, you're going to get cursed and then gripped, so it's like, okay. I mean, at that point, I think you're winning the fight if you're taking all these spells, but I mean, at least your Razor's having a good time.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even click Cuckoo. I thought he was going to be more sacrificial this game, but nah, he actually went for the omelet anyway. Okay.
Initiating in on Zephyr mid, they bring down the Mirana. As Jackie got an escape, he's A-okay with the Lotus Orb. Underlord trying to help him out against the Razor with that Lotus pickup. That's one nice way to potentially deal with the static link.
Yeah, as well as the bat. He doesn't have any Lincolns or anything, so you just straight up cannot lasso someone who's lowest.
No. And they're not done. Yopaj wants to go in once more. He's got a Shadow Blade to go fishing with. We'll see if he can find anything here. Carl in the top lane's got to be a little bit careful. He's got a Blink Dagger, but if he gets caught out, doesn't have that BKB, but he will scout the rotation with a ward.
Okay. I guess Boomer's trying to find ways to fight back. The lowest definitely makes their fights easier if they put it on lifesteal. He can't be touched by the lasso. I guess Gabby's sort of okay linking it because it just pops his own Lincolns, right? But then you are vulnerable to getting Winter's Curse, so I guess it's a little bit hard. It just makes their fights more awkward for T1, and they have to think about their spell casting.
Yep. And we'll see T1 feeling like they've hit a good timing to go fight. They've got this Wraith King BKB. Cuckoo's come online. He's not just an offlaner at this point. He's transitioning into that true game-impacting semi-carry. Tim's in the front line, caught out without any kind of mobility tool. There is no way for him to escape, so he goes down, and that means... Don't imagine Boom Esports want to continue trying to take this fight, but they're being hunted. Carl is fishing, looking for more on the Batrider. Can he find a good target to lasso with the Ghost Ship coming in? That's going to block a good amount of damage here, but Yopaj forced to BKB and go on the back foot here. Teams will buy back to guarantee this fight goes okay, and Gabby, unfortunately for Boom, he just TPs out. They couldn't get Tim's in range for the Winter's Curse, but instead, they may get Cuckoo on the Wraith King here. They throw out the Winter's Curse here to make sure they get his first life. Will they be able to get his second without a BKB? They should be okay to do so. Zephyr just leaps out and leaves Cuckoo to die.
Yeah, I mean, he has core items, but he's still a Wraith King into all these horrible, horrible heroes. It's very difficult for him to get out once he's in.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job of controlling Carl in that fight. Like we said, he does not have a BKB. He has no defensive items, pretty much. He had to force staff to get out of the Underlord pit, and then at that point, like, he was just... I think he got boated by... Yopaj. So yeah, he was never able to get in. It ended up forcing Gabby to TP out because they didn't have control for Boom's cause. Carl couldn't really get in, and they just disengaged, and it just kind of turned to rubbish for T1.
Yeah, in the end, it's just the Wraith King they lose, but considering how the fight started, I think they were hoping for more. They did get a buyback out of Tim's, I guess. Small consolation prize, and if they can kill this Wyvern again... They are scanning in the tree, so I think they have an idea of where Tim's is. Well, they definitely do now when he throws out the Splinter Blast, but elsewhere they've gone in with the Blink Lasso. Batrider starting the fight, and Tim's goes down. They get both supports on the Boom side, and yeah, Boom, I don't think we're ready for that one. Tim's overestimating perhaps how safe he was in this top lane, and FBZ himself, he Dark Rifted up here. He's got no escape, so Gabby just chase him down with the BKB. They're not done. They found one more. They found the Life Steal. That's a big kill if they can get it, and no escape for him. Yopaj even in trouble himself. He's got the BKB, but he can't TP out. He's being chased down. Have they got the control for him? I think with the movement speed, he might just barely be okay, but no, they flame break him back, and they just dive the high ground. Full team wipe for T1. Absolutely destroying Boom in this fight.
Very, very nicely done. You just see how hard it is for Lifestealer to play this game when they have so much control. He got... like stunned by Wraith King, stunned by Lion, stunned by Mirana. They just chain stun him. There's nothing he can do. Like it's such a hard game. And this was their last pick. They saw a lot of these matchups, so maybe they just couldn't find anything better. But it just seems like every fight is such a struggle, and they don't really have jump on Boom. T1 can always just jump in with a Blink Dagger on Wraith King. They can jump in with a Lasso on Bat, and Boom just kind of have to play so reactively and defensively.
And the only time it feels like that slightly worked is when that can be Wyvern, like, positioning and getting off a good curse. Problem is, if any time T1 can jump the Wyvern, they'll do just that, as we saw in the last couple of fights.
Yeah.
Well, now they get themselves an Aegis. This Gabby Razor, level 21, Refresher, double BKB, double Eye of the Storm, and an Aegis in hand as well. That is a problem.
Oh God. That is terrifying. Oh, I don't even know if they split pushed that well on Boom. I felt like in the past games when they were behind and facing Aegises, they were a bit easier at being cheeky with split pushing. I guess FPZ can do it kind of alright because he can always just Dark Rift out.
Yeah,
he feels like he's really in danger.
See him do that every now and then. He'll get caught doing it, but he's also successfully, kept these lanes pushed out pretty well. Yeah. Is there, like, I mean, even, okay, so let's say they somehow just survive their way through this Aegis without dying too much. Is there, like, a timing where or an item or something they're looking for and they're going to be ready to fight? Or, like, what needs to happen for Boom to get back into this game?
That's a hard question.
Throws from the other team. They need throws, it sounds like then.
They do need throws. I mean, I like the fights they took where they were able to get Winter's curses off onto, like, Batriders and stuff. But it's still hard for Lifestealer to really fight. I don't see him having much damage right now. It feels like he needs more damage and then like a basher as well. Cause like last fight when Gabby just TP'd out in front of him, that feels bad. I think like that was probably one of your best case scenario fights where things were going well for you, but then the enemy cores were able to just kind of leave. If they're able to get a basher, maybe that doesn't happen, and then they can like kind of turn these better situations into kills.
Okay. And when it comes to T1, as far as, you know, closing out this game, surprisingly, they actually haven't taken many towers yet, but, like, what are they looking to achieve with this Aegis, and, like, how do they make sure they don't throw this game and get that win, considering the position they're in?
It's time to close the map off. So this Aegis is, you gotta take that mid tower. You could probably just walk up and take it at this point. I don't think you lose your Aegis doing that. Do they have any deep wards down? I don't see any.
No wards at all, other than the mid lane.
Yeah, you're pretty blind on T1, but I'm sure you feel confident right now with the Aegis. So, yeah, they need to take this tower. They have the other tier 1s already, which is nice. At this point, they can kind of choose what side of the map they want to take. Gabby's pinging bot side, so they'll probably play around there, take a tier 2 tower, take the outpost. I don't... They have, they still have this threat on T1 that we talked about very early in the game, where, like, if Boom try and, like, avoid this Aegis and split push lanes, they do have good, like, setup on Whitemon. He has a blink on Lion. He can catch. They can connect with Carl.
Gabby charging forward. Wants to go on Jack Boys. And Jackie just going to be forced to flee here. That's the first BKB from the Razor. Still has a second if he wants to pop the refresher. Gets torrented up, and it looks like they're going to leave Skem on the Bane to perhaps die here. The rest of Boom are just thinking, we got to get out of here. The entire T1 team has responded to their aggression, and maybe somewhat not a disaster for them, just losing a Bane in the end.
Yeah, but it's the map control, right? They're forced out of the triangle. It's like a space they can't farm. They can't, you know, if T1 swing to a bot side of the map, then that means that Boom are able to take their triangle and push up the top lane, and then maybe like even sneak some of the enemy's jungle, right? And that's like their space to farm. When they get ran out like that, now they're all shoved back into their base. You know, right now they're like looking like, oh, let's try and get back out on the map. But like that was like 30+ seconds of time they could have been spreading out on the map and farming that they lost because of that move by T1.
Okay. Well, they'll try and make up for it now as they see T1 push the bottom tier 2 tower. They'll make their move to go farm elsewhere, but they've already lost the tower. They're going to lose their outpost control now as well, so things will quickly start to get pretty ugly for them.
I think he was... Oh, they're just going to go straight onto the high ground. Okay.
Yeah. Gabby's like, okay, we're ready for this, right? Even just forcing Boom back to defend can be kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's so annoying playing into Underlord high ground. They don't have like really nice siege. It's pretty much only Razor, and he doesn't have an Axe, which is what really lets him shred through towers. But yeah, there's no easy tower siege into Underlord. It's just gonna be annoying. They probably want to just really increase their net worth lead, and then maybe try and find a way to take a really good fight, and then push off the back of that. I don't think sieging is going to be very easy for them this game.
Boom have smoked up here, but they're not looking to necessarily go aggressive with it. They're looking to kind of like sit behind their other heroes using the smoke. Speaking of which, Carl has sniffed out Skem's Bane and wants to kind of hunt him down. Has the double flame break, but can't get anybody inside. Infest from Jackie just to try and make sure Skem's okay. Jesus, that flame break damage. It hurts.
It is unbearable. That Ag shot, it better get nerfed. I swear to God. Like,
I don't know if Batrider's like high priority for a nerf.
I just think it's that shot. I think he's actually kind of okay overall, but like the 2-charge flame break is way too much.
Especially when it's a repositioning tool. Like repositioning tools in Dota are just so powerful.
Yeah.
Well, siege in the mid lane, T1 playing things safe. They do get the Lotus onto the Underlord before the lasso, so that actually sets up a kill on Carl. What a play from FBZ, the fast fingers to react. He self-Lotuses and kills Carl. That was so quick.
Oh my god. I didn't see what triggered that, but did he just like preemptively lose himself when he kind of walked up, or did he get a sticky napalm on him and then just react?
I think he just reacted to the blink.
What a king.
That was what I saw, at least. Maybe we'll get a replay of it. I hope so, because I think he just... As the second the Batrider blinked on him and was, like, casting Lasso, he was Lotusing. Maybe he, like, mind-gamed it and thought ahead or something, but that was so fast. And suddenly, Boom is pushing forward. What the hell's happening? Boom's going high ground.
Bad
Their
is
life
dead.
steal.
That is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game just turned on its head. It's been T1, T1, T1 from start till now, but one Batrider kill and Boom are pressing forward with this lifesteal on the high ground. The base ward does get taken out.
Get stunned up.
He gets stunned once. The arrow going to come flying through as well. Gets Lotus. Nice curse on the Gabby. Going to force Kuku to attack him, but this may be time for the retreat. They've got an Infest if they need it. They're going to look to Dark Rift out of here. Everybody huddle. There we go. Good job with the team huddle, and they get all back to safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as long as Jackie doesn't get stunned up super hard, it's
Yeah.
it's a nice push.
Oh, here's the replay. It looked like he was just maybe he was preemptively Lotus, actually. I honestly I couldn't quite tell again.
Yeah, I didn't see the start of that clip in time. Whoops.
Boom wanna take another fight. They're starting to feel a little bit more confident here, it seems. Their front line is very hard to bring down with how tanky Lifestealer and Kunkka are. I mean, Underlord too. I mean, these heroes all sitting on like very high amounts of health.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As long as they can just punish like they did the mid. I mean, that is their way into the game. I mean, they are just really defensive. They just really have to make sure they're executing properly whenever T1 try and make any move. They have the heroes to do it. But they just have to be so careful as well. Like mid could have gone, it could have gone a different way. I feel like it could have gone badly for them. Jackie did actually like drop quite low, even though they got the curse off.
Yeah.
It's just so scary. He doesn't have a Linken's or a way to kind of combo break when they start. They start with a Hex. So they start with, you know, if Kuku gets the fast stun off, it's whoa. You know, you can end up being stunned for like 18 seconds between all these heroes.
Yeah, he's relying on his teammates to bail him out, whether it's a Nightmare save, a Cold Embrace isn't really the best of saves, but they've also got the Lotus Orbs too. But even, like, again, it's not always going to be reliable. As we saw in that mid lane where he came very close to being brought down. Both teams are smoked up as 5. Jackie's showing mid, so that maybe gives T1 a bit of an idea. I don't think Lifesteal would be up farming that deep if he was alone, so... Seems like T1 have no interest in taking the fight to Boom right now, but Roshan respawning in 30 seconds, so both teams will start to probably posture around that, and we'll see who's going to get the better jump or the better kind of position for that potential Roche fight.
Bat is finally, Carl is finally going Lincoln Sphere.
Well, he's also going to get a nice little jump on the Bane. Skem gets Cold Embrace, but he gets blown up before he can do anything. Instantly buys back. They've also called FBZ here, who's not all too tanky, unfortunately. And that means no Lotus, no Lincolns that he can put on his Lifestealer, so full retreat here as T1 go charging forward, looking for more. They have used the lasso, so it doesn't look like they're going to initially get more. Miltage doing what he can to defend the tower with some nice Tidebringers, but 50 seconds with no Underlord, that should give T1 Roshan here, or at least a 4v5 fight around the Roche pit.
Yep. Respect to Tim's design build, by the way. Going Blink Aether Lens, making sure that he is always able to just get his spell off and not die. Very good. You're always searching for that backline, right, as T1, and when you have Blink Dagger, it just means you can just sit that extra range back to make sure that you get your spells off and don't die. So, awesome. Choice by him.
And the Roche here, but Boom are making moves towards the pit. The Hex comes out onto the Lifestealer. The stun follow-up is there as well. The Lifestealer, they can't quite bail him out. He needs an Infest target, and he's got it with Yopaj with the BKB TP out. Yopaj, he melted very quickly there, but does TP his Lifestealer back to base.
They got a little bit antsy. Cuckoo's stun overlap with Whitemon's Earth Spike. Otherwise, maybe that's a kill.
Okay. And still T1 getting Roshan here, even though they bought some time here, and Boom's making their way towards the pit. They're going to be there a little bit too late. It feels like for Boom, they're making up for, like, this gold deficit in the hero matchups with all these, like, Lincolns and Lotus Orbs to try to deal with the Razor and stuff, and basically everything they can to buff up their Lifestealer.
Yeah. It's not quite the same, but it's, like, a little reminiscent of the game we watched. It was, like, Spirit Verse... Was it Navi? Where they had like a bunch of Wind Wakers and stuff and Lincolnses, and they were all just Lincolns and Wind Wakering each other to like save. I really love watching that type of duo.
Just keep laying their saves. Cuckoo charging forward. He's got a save of his own just in the form of his ultimate, so he doesn't mind leading the way, but with Gabby's Aegis coming up to the party as well, they're ready to fight on the T1 side, and they've caught the Kunkka, the big fish. Yopaj goes down. That could spell trouble for Boom, who are going to find Gabby knocking at their door soon. He's got that refresher on cooldown for now, but still has BKB available. Now, imagine T1 are at least going to be thinking about going high ground pretty soon. Jump in top.
Yeah,
No. Gabby just BKBs. He's okay. He's a little bit, not alone, but Carl is, he's in the bottom pushing out the wave, so... For now, T1 not rushing things with the high ground push, respecting that. It's hard. It's just hard to push in. You mentioned the Underlord. Like, it's just a wyvern. Like, these are heroes you don't want to go high ground against unless you absolutely are sure you're ready to go high ground.
Yeah, they can make a play now because Lasso's coming off cooldown. If they can just snag one more hero, then I think the high ground becomes a lot more easy. Or they get a buyback, which they're also pretty happy with.
Let's see if they can find that Lasso target. He goes in, but he blinks into the root. Nice job with the Pit of Malice to make it hard for Carl. Instead, Gabby's going to try poke at the tower, but getting constantly kited, slowed down, enfeebled. He's not doing much damage when that enfeebles on him. And Boom, they managed to hold pretty solidly, but they're down 25k gold. This lead just continues to increase for T1.
I just don't know how much it means anymore. Like, when you think about it, it feels like no matter how much gold they acquire, like, they already all have, like, Lincolns and stuff, but the game still feels difficult. There's always that threat of, like, using your spells on a Lois or getting one or...
They use their spells on a Lifestealer who is going to be rifted out. It's just so frustrating. It just feels like Boom just have so many saves and tools. Like, this Lifestealer is just like, I'm got like 4,000 health. You can go on me, lasso me, but I'm going to survive through it, and then someone's going to bail me out.
Isn't it so weird, though? Like, does Boom ever play like this? I feel like every time we watch a Boom game, they are just, like, 800 kills or bust, you know? This is the absolute opposite of what I feel like we're used to from this team.
Yeah. Not a team that usually plays on the back foot or looks to kind of turtle it up. They are going to get the X on the Cuckoo, but he just BKBs his way out of there. I think knowing that his teammates were a little bit too far away for his own comfort. But Gabby has rotated on the Razor. They've still got 90 seconds left on this Aegis, so it does seem like T1 want to take a fight, and Gabby's got the perfect line coming in from behind. He gets nightmared up, though. Gets the BKB off, though, as he does get woken up here, and now they're going to take out the Bane support to start things off here. FBZ could be next on the Underlord. He's already used his ultimate, and Yopaj just has to BKB TP his way back home. Tim's' Wyvern gets chased down. The Infest heal not enough from Jackie, and now his Infest is on cooldown. No rage for a couple of seconds, but he will be okay. The buybacks will scare T1 off. And they do X back in the Wraith King. They want to force this fight. Jackie's going to be careful. He's so incredibly low. He's actually gone down. He's overcommitted, as is Yopaj. It's a rampage. Gabby just eats them alive, just zapping them with the lightning. Has still got an Aegis, so even if he loses his first life here, he's not afraid to dive the enemy base, and they can smell victory here in this series. It's the Game 3 decider, and they are just taking over this Boom Esports base. Gabby's lost his first life, but he's still got a BKB to play around, and he is going to BKB TP his way out of here. So T1 don't feel like they can seal the deal here in game number 3. They back off.
Oh. Well, that was a lot of buybacks. That was a lot of buybacks.
I thought it was game, and then they're like, let's just we'll play for next Roshan or next cooldowns.
we're definitely 37k net worth deficit now.
That's a big number. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a lot. They can win the game now off of any pickoff. It's actually just so frightening for Boom, especially when you're playing into Batrider. Yeah, you have your ideas of like Winter's Curse to kind of stop Batrider from stealing your heroes, but he does have a link, and it's sort of hard to execute. If this guy kidnaps anyone on your team, they are dead. They are dead for like 2 minutes. This is like buyback cooldown timers on the respawns now. It's very easy to lose, I would say.
Yes. And meanwhile, T1 not really using any buybacks to get these results. They're just getting these kills. No one's really dying, and no one's buying back. Like Boom are getting like 1 kill out of a team fight on a support, maybe at best most of the time. Or that fight, I don't think they killed anyone.
Yeah, the 3 people on T1 don't have buybacks, and it's only because they don't have the money for it. And if they have like a fight now, it's not a 5v5. It's gonna be a 5v10. That's how many lives T1 have to expend and use. Like a Batrider can easily die and just TP back in.
The last kill Boom actually got was that kill on the Batrider mid. So even in these fights, they're not even killing these supports.
It's hard. Everyone has so much money.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Mirana. She has an MKB, for God's sake.
Okay. Yeah, she's like,
what the hell?
She's like, I'm the lifesteal counter, right? Like, Wraith King, you don't want to hit this lifesteal. I'm a ranged core.
That is such a funny pickup. He doesn't even have evasion or anything. It's just an MKB for the sake of an MKB.
He's got, he has the evasion talent, but like, that's only 16%. It's like, it doesn't feel like worth it by itself, maybe.
Yeah. I feel like maybe Ags, like a lot of Miranas go Ags when they have a lot of money. They do like so much magic damage with it, and you get like when you're 25, you get the Starstorm damage. It's like I think like that build with like the E-Blade Ags, I've seen that do like so much damage. But yeah, no, Zephyr's like, nah, I'm a carrier. I'm going Hurricane Pike. I have an MKB.
I mean, I guess the bonus, the Pierce with the magic damage goes through the Cold Embrace is maybe what he's thinking as well, but
yeah.
Well, it does feel like we're in that Luxram territory where he can just buy whatever the hell he wants. There's not much thinking to it, maybe, with how far ahead they are.
I always get very jealous when I'm on the losing side of games like these. It's like I look at the enemy Lion and he has like E-Blade Dagon or something, and I'm like, that's just not fair. Like, I have to buy normal. I have to buy BKB. This guy gets to just buy a Dagon E-Blade. Like, come on.
Some of us just get to have more fun, you know, when things are going well. That's T1 supports right now, doing whatever the hell they want. They've also got this really nice ninja gear on Batrider, just allowing him to constantly be smoked up all over the map. It's so scary when he's just always out of vision because of this.
Indeed. I actually don't even know what they're planning. I mean, they obviously like are talking a lot as a team about how they want to take this Boomer in such a weak spot. It's really up to T1 deciding.
Oh, this is cool.
When they want to jump.
They leave the gem in Roshan so they can see it respawn, I guess. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's a power move. That's like the type of move you can only make when you're crushing this hard.
Yeah. Because you can't use couriers to scout Roshan anymore, so okay. They see Roshan and they're headed that way. That's what they were waiting for. Yeah, this is spelling like the demise of Boom Esports here. They've still got their base. They haven't lost a lane of racks, but it doesn't feel like this game is getting any better, like as time goes on, or any closer. Like, we're at 50 minutes in, but this is all T1 all day long right now, and now they've got themselves Aegis Refresher Shard as well.
They're running. Oh, they're running.
Yeah. They had the ward. Oops. Okay. They get out just in time. They're like, oh, we wanted to deward, but no, not happening.
I think if they don't force a high ground issue at this point, I don't understand Dota. They have no buybacks on. Oh, I mean, they have 2 buybacks now on Boom. Buybacks are going to be coming up in like 1 minute's time. This is your window. You have Aegis. If you're not winning now, when are you winning?
See that put to the test here. Cuckoo's Wraith King looking poised to jump in, as is Carl's Batrider. Gabby on the front lines doing what he can to chip at these buildings. He's got that Aghanim Scepter now, so has the ability to damage structures as well. But every time he goes to the high ground, he just loses like 1,000, 2,000 health because of all the spam. A Torrent into some Firestorm damage. It's very annoying. Unfortunately, they can't reliably initiate with Carl because of all these Lincoln Spheres. Also, the Pit of Malice just being plopped on the ground, preventing Carl from being able to blink in easily.
I mean, Lifestealer and Kunkka don't have Lincolns. They just keep getting fed a Lincolns by FBZ.
Yeah.
Oh,
The freebie
God,
one, I
actually
guess.
backing off.
They're smoking.
They're
Don't worry.
smoking. Okay.
They're fishing with arrows. Just keep throwing arrows. Eventually, you're going to hit a 5-second arrow.
So true.
Lions also. Everyone's just like trying to find a pickoff, and they finally got one. Oh, he gets bailed out by the Lotus Orb. Bane getting low here. He nightmares himself. These flame breaks are just doing too much damage, though. He does end up going down. The Razor on the high ground is trying to get this mid lane of Rax here. Cuckoo did lose his first life on the Wraith King. Had to BKB waddle his way out of the Radiant base. But Jackie in some trouble here. Has to back off for now. Gabby couldn't actually finish off the melee Rax. This high ground push is just so frustrating for T1. They've got to know and feel that this game is like, surely we've won this game, right? Like, there's nothing they could do to win this, but at the same time, they're like, how do we win this? Like, what do we do? How do we crack this egg?
This is ridiculous. This game's gonna go for 60 minutes, man. How's this happened to us twice?
It's one thing, like, you see the games that, like, oh, yeah, this is going 60. These two teams are evenly matched, and it's like these fights are all 50-50. This is the opposite. Boom has had, like, 1 kill in the last 15, 20 minutes. They're just turtling it up.
They're about to be down by 50k.
Oh, I love it. We're looking to break some records. I feel like I've definitely seen, like, 60, 65k gold leads before. Blink Lasso in. Another save coming into play here as Gabby goes charging forward with the Eye of the Storm just zipping and zapping through everyone, but he's getting brought pretty low here. Jackie's trying to fight his way through this one, but he's losing his damage to the static link, and there's too much Gabby damage. Plus 226, plus 300, sorry, after the Enfeeble wears off. He is just right-clicking too damn freaking hard. Buyback on FBZ, but the Lifestealer not so fortunate. Without a buyback on him, this may be the end finally for Boom. 56k gold lead. Cuckoo blinks in, just cleaving through him with the Wraith King. He eats the Bane alive. He wants Yopaj next. Feels like finally they may have finally broken through Boom. They've definitely broken through my ability to talk about this game. Winter's Curse comes out on a Lion, but it doesn't even connect on anything. And surely this is it. Surely, Sheepo. Surely. Don't back off now, T1. Oh, the Splitter Blast to cleave Yopaj. Oh, it's just an Aegis. And Cuckoo's also got himself reincarnation. they're just giving him some extra kills here. Only Yopaj left standing, and they'll GG out as the team wipe is completed. 65k gold lead in the end at T1. I don't think